So my name is Tina Laffer. I am so glad that you guys were able to join me today. Thank you so much. I am the Director of Community Engagement and Outreach for the Carroll Center for the Blind, which means that I do all the admissions for all of our different programs and other duties as assigned, many of which involve admission. So I do all the admissions for all of these different programs that I'll be describing and walking through tonight. Not only do I do the admissions for these programs, but I've also worked in all of these programs as well. I worked as an instructor at the Carroll Center for the Blind for about 6 years in all the different programs before moving over to my new role. So I want this to be interactive. I want this to be helpful. Please pause, come off mute, ask questions throughout the whole the whole presentation here. This is for you, not me. And I want you to get as many questions and answer as much as I can for you. So the first program that I wanted to talk about was Carroll Kids and Teens. Do we have anybody on this call who's interested in learning about Carroll Kids and Teens? I feel like
I am.
Beautiful. All right, Tina, perfect. Hi. 2 names, best name ever. So Carroll Kids and Teens, we are running a 1-week day program. This is for grades 4 through 8. Home base for this program is at the Carroll Center itself in Newton, Mass. And this program, yes, it's based off of the Carroll Center campus, but really we're looking at field trips and recreational activities in the community to continue to support the expanded core curriculum teaching. So it's integrating the skills that they're learning in the program and at school throughout the year, but in these different novel environments, going to an airport, going out to eat, going to the grocery store. We're looking to build self-advocacy, independence through daily living and other activities. And of course, meeting other people who are blind and visually impaired is a really big thing. Many of our students who are coming to us in this age group, many have never met somebody else who's visually impaired. They may be the only student who's visually impaired in their school district. So it's very important that they're able to, make friends with other people who are visually impaired. Tina, can I answer any questions for you so far?
No, I think I'm good right now.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so we also have a Carroll Teens. This is for our older students. The other one was also Carroll Teens, so you can be grades 4 through 8. This was the day program, whereas our Carroll Teens is 6th through 9th. This is residential, so it's 1 week. I think it's only 4 nights though, of overnight camp. This is very similar to the day program, but during the residential program, they have the opportunity to practice being away from home. Many students have never had the opportunity to live away from home and practice not just the expanded core curriculum skills that I mentioned earlier, like orientation, mobility, advocacy, technology, being in that novel community-based environment, but also living away from home. Is it preparing a meal, looking at making your breakfast, following your daily routines on your own, doing some light laundry or housekeeping skills, being able to learn these in areas outside of their own bedroom or familiar environment. So we're looking at increasing that independence, confidence, engaging with new peers or maybe familiar peers, and just being out in the public, using public transit and integrating all those skills that they may learn, both in the program, but during the school year in these community-based scenarios and environments.
I had a question.
Yes, Shannon, go for it.
Are all of the families that are on, are they local here to Delaware, or are you pulling families from all over?
So in this meeting tonight, There's people from all over. The first two programs are really for home, I was gonna say home people, from Massachusetts based students. The next bunch of programs are really for out of state and local students. So I know you're from Delaware. This morning, I ran the same exact webinar this afternoon, and we had someone from Vermont, we had somebody from New Jersey, somebody from Delaware, somebody from Connecticut. So we take students from every state for these programs, but the first two, because they're day programs, they have to be obviously nearby. And for this 4-day residential program, they could be out of state. But this next program, which I think is one that you're thinking about, Shannon, is this Youth in Transition program. So our Youth in Transition program is our 6-week program. This is the program that I would say we're most well known for. 6 weeks in length, and we're looking at students who are ages 15 to 20. These students will be living on the Carroll Center campus. And what we're looking at is access to the expanded core curriculum, learning skills in different content areas, and developing skills that they'll need post high school, whether they be college or vocational track. We want to make sure, college, or vocational track, we want to make sure that they have the skills that they need to travel to and from college or work, have note-taking skills to be successful in their next, their next steps, become better leaders and advocates, and just be better at knowing what they are allowed to advocate for in terms of ADA or different in different areas. We want to make sure that they know what they're able to gain access from or with. So they're meeting other people who are blind and visually impaired. We take 19 students in this program. They're from across the country. Last year we had 19 students and only 3 were from Massachusetts, just to give you a general overview. These students have classes every, oh, hello.
I'm sorry, how many people applied?
Oh, maybe 25, 26.
So a good portion of them made it into the program.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, could have been a little more. I ended up going on maternity leave in May. So the last 2 months before the program started, I guess more could have applied and I'm not aware, but yeah, as far as my knowledge. So
I was envisioning like hundreds and hundreds applying, and there was
no, thank God. I mean, I wish there was. I guess that would be a really good thing in many ways, but I also am glad because I would hate to turn away that many kids. And if a student, for whatever reason, isn't able to get into a program or we are full, I always try to help connect students with other programs that are, could also be really good options. I want to make sure every kid has a really good summer, no matter where they go, whether it's with us or elsewhere. So we run classes every weekday from 9 to 3, except for on Tuesdays, because those are field trip days. So Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, students are in classes, and these classes could be technology, daily living skills, housekeeping, orientation mobility, sensory arts, case management, counseling. We believe that, learning new skills, it's not just a skill set, but a mindset, which is why you'll see case management and counseling on there as well. We feel that just because you may have a new set of skills doesn't necessarily mean that you have the mindset or the confidence to implement those skills in new environments or back at home or in school. Oh, excuse me. So we offer these classes during the week. And what do they do from, 3 on? Well, we have clubs offered every weekday in the afternoons and evenings. So every Monday from 3 to 5, and then 6 to 8, there will be clubs and activities. There's roughly 3 or so clubs running concurrently each time period. So on a Monday, there could be ASL club, a book club, a running club, and a fishing club. And your child can sign up for one of those activities. They get to participate, they get to learn about a new recreational activity or a hobby and figure out, hey, I hate fishing, or oh my God, I love fishing, or I never want to fish again in my entire life. And that's just what camp is all about, right? We all learned a lot about life in camps, and that's what we're here to do, right? Teach about new recreational activities, because that's what allows you to have a really fulfilling life. And so every Monday afternoon and evening and so forth throughout the week, we'll have these clubs and activities. They're really fun. I remember running a candy club one year, so we made really fun arts and crafts that were all edible. We've had Dungeons and Dragons. We do fishing in the Charles River, which is weird. Nobody wants to fish in the Charles River. We don't need them, I promise. There's just a lot of fun activities that happen. And Tuesdays obviously is a field trip day, really fun. We're going off campus, we're going into Boston. As I said last year, out of all the students, only 3 were from Boston. So everybody was excited to go to downtown Boston, go to Quincy Market, go to Faneuil Hall. We've gone to Red Sox games or gone to amusement parks. We want these students to have a really fun summer, make really great memories, just like their peers may be participating in camps themselves. So that is our youth and transition program, living on campus, food, room and board is obviously included, part of the program, all right on our campus.
I have a question about the youth in transition camp.
Yeah, please.
So like for us, since we are traveling from Tennessee,
Mhm.
we would be bringing him up. Camp runs until August 14th.
Yep.
So what day would be best for us to travel up there to then be around in order to like see his end of the camp and then get him back home?
Awesome. So the 14th is technically, or not technically, it is a Thursday.
Okay.
And the day before is our awards ceremony slash I'm blanking on it. Talent show. There we go. So you
Okay.
might want to come up that day.
Okay.
So that way you're there for the graduation to move out and all those good things.
Yep.
I'm not saying that you don't want to come. If you didn't want to, for whatever reason, we don't hold that against you. We do drive kids back to the airport if you so choose to do that. We do
We
pick
would
up.
come.
Yeah,
No, we
that's
would
fine.
definitely come get him.
Yeah.
And then my next question is, how do you deal with children who have allergies? Because he's got a dairy allergy.
Yep. So all of our food is prepared in-house by our kitchen staff. We gather
Okay.
all of the information for allergies ahead of time.
Okay.
We review it with our team. We make sure that it's something that we can handle and manage. And if we hear from them that they're like, oh my God, it's an allergy that we can't manage, then we let you know.
Okay.
Dairy doesn't sound like it's something that we couldn't support. So I would imagine that that is absolutely fine. And it's something that we're able to manage.
Okay.
So yeah, they would just make sure that everything is dairy free.
And then how do you also do medication management?
Aha, good question. So we do not have a nurse on staff. We're
Okay.
not a medical facility,
Okay.
and all students have to be able to, it's such a weird scenario. So they're not taking, all right, we hold on to the meds.
Okay.
And every morning, Jimmy and Sally, they come to the office and we give them their meds
Okay.
to them, and they have
Okay.
to take them.
Okay.
If they have eye drops, they need to be able to take them themselves. If they
Okay.
have injections, they need to be able to do that themselves. We
Okay.
can watch them draw up any liquid and make sure that it's the appropriate amount, but we
Okay.
cannot give those injections. And when it comes to diabetes, they need to be able to manage their pumps and glucose and insulin on their own.
Okay, we don't have that. He just has like hills
Yeah.
that he has to take.
Mhm. Yep, so we would hold on to them and just
Okay.
give them to him every morning, evening, night, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for oh my gosh, for YIT?
Do you have any questions for youth in transition, Isaiah?
Do you know any clubs that are going to be active?
He wants to go ahead.
I don't yet, and every year it's always new. But when you and I meet Isaiah,
Hmm.
probably in a couple weeks when we do an intake interview, what I'll have you do is tell me what you hope to see for a club and activity. And I let the staff know because they're the ones who run them.
Hmm.
And they like to have it, they like to have ideas in mind because sometimes we don't know what you guys want either. So one year I had 3 kids who were all like, I love Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, I don't know much about it, but I sent that off to the team and the team was like, oh my God, no way. Kids want to play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, this is great. And so then they had that club. Other years, kids are like, I want to write poetry. And I'm like, really? Okay, sure. So then we run a poetry club. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have a club or activity that you hope to have?
Well, I've always wanted to go fishing with my dad,
Okay,
so I would really be interested in going fishing. And then
awesome.
I loved playing board games with my family,
Okay.
so the Dungeons and Dragons Club sounds pretty fun too.
Oh, awesome. Well, we always have fishing. We
Hmm.
have these volunteers from LL Bean that work with us every summer, and they take the kids fishing right down the street in Watertown Square
Hmm.
on the dock in the Charles River. It's a really interesting time. I say interesting because I'm not a
Hmm.
fisherwoman. I don't find that to be a fun club or activity, but I love that for you, Isaiah, and that's what we're here for. New opportunities, exciting things, trying new things. So,
And
and board games we always have board games. There's tons of board games in the dorm.
and then I do work with an O&M teacher. Her name is
Awesome.
Lauren Schweitzer,
Okay.
and they typically have me bake or cook once a month. So would it be also okay if I joined a baking club?
Ooh. We haven't had a baking club in a while, but yeah, we could probably resurrect that.
Hmm.
You will definitely bake while you're in your personal management class. And
Hmm.
what we encourage students to do, and it sounds like this might be something you would want to do, we have a big end of the year party the last week of the program. And if kids want, they can bake for the party. So then,
Hmm.
and we don't buy cake or pastries or any desserts. It's all on you guys to bake your own desserts for the party. So sounds like we'll be asking you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Did you
Well,
say
hey,
today is August 13th?
I think it's August 14th. Let me see.
Max's birthday is the 13th.
I think you said August 13th is awards and the awards ceremony and talent show.
Yes. Yep. The 14th is the last day of the program. So yes, his birthday is the day before.
That would be exciting for him.
That is exciting.
If you
That's
want, I
really
could
fun.
make a specialty cake for him.
Ooh, look at this.
That would be awesome.
I
Mhm.
like what's going on in this meeting right now. This is what summer camp is all about. We don't know each other. We're baking for each other. This is awesome. This is awesome. Any other questions, or may I head on over to talking about the real world of work?
I think we're good. We're
Yeah.
okay if you move on.
All right. All right. Well, ask any other questions. This is what I love. So, Real World of Work is a program that does not necessarily follow the summer after YIT, but a lot of students do benefit from doing one and then the other. Now, the Real World of Work program is 7 weeks in length, so it starts 1 week before our YIT program. This program are for students 16 and over, and they are not living on our campus. They are living at LaSalle University. LaSalle is about 3 miles away from the Carroll Center. And we rent out a dormitory, but it's not a dorm like you're envisioning. It's not this big building that has hundreds of rooms. It is a small, no, it's not small. It's a rather large but Victorian home that LaSalle University bought up lots of in the community. And we rent out one of these Victorian homes. So it's all our staff, all our students. They are not mixing with other university students or anything like that. But we rent out this dorm, and instead of having meals prepared for them, they have to make their own breakfast and prepare and pack their own lunch for work. Instead of having housekeeping to help keeping their room clean, they need to be responsible for that. Instead of having a laundry class to make sure they're managing that and maintaining clean laundry and making sure their clothes aren't wrinkled, they need to be able to take care of all those skills on their own. And so that's why pretty frequently YIT is the precursor to real world of work. So these students are making their own breakfast in the morning, packing a lunch to then bring it to work, and participating in an internship that's a minimum of 15 hours per week. So students need to have the stamina and some pretty good orientation mobility skills. I say pretty good because obviously there's always room for growth. What we're looking for is confidence and the desire and drive to learn new novel skills, new novel routes, and enhance their skills. That first week of the real world of work is intensive orientation, mobility, and technology training to make sure that students are set up for success at their internship. We designed this to start a week earlier, so all of our mobility staff is 100% dedicated to these students, because the following week we have the 19 YIT students arriving. Our real world of work programs usually around 8 to 10. So figure we have the staff for 19. When we only have eight students, that's pretty great. We can give them all the one-on-one attention and make sure that they're fully prepared for this internship that they're about to participate in. They are working Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Tuesdays classes, Thursdays field trip. So they still get to go on a field trip. One day a week, though, they are able to come to our campus, work with a low vision therapist, work with the technology instructor, talk to personal management. If they're having those one-off issues of, hey, I think I might need a CCTV at my job placement, but I'm not really sure. Or, hey, you know what? I think I could really use some help with my emailing skills. I don't remember how to send an attachment. We're there for those as needed skills when they come up to continue to support the success of the students in their internships. Different opportunities we've had in the past few summers: museums, rehab centers, YMCAs, local farm, hospital, National Braille Press, local college, TJ Maxx, and animal shelter. Those are just a few of the opportunities that a student could participate in. I encourage anybody who's interested in this program or our other internship programs that I'll present in a little bit to apply as soon as possible. The sooner they apply, the sooner we can start getting all the internship paperwork taken care of, because our mission is you are starting the summer with a job. You're not coming to us and we're applying and going on interviews. All of this is happening behind the scenes from March to June. So when you show up first week of July, or excuse me, the last week of June, you are already employed and ready to go for the summer. These students are receiving a small stipend for their work. And yeah, I feel like I'm missing something, but I'll pause for a second to see if I have any questions about the Real World of Work program.
We don't have any.
Oh, okay. I didn't mention this for the YIT, I'll bring this up now. So for both of these programs, YIT students and the real world of work students, we don't necessarily have any structured activities on the weekends. For YIT, the kids that are at Carroll Center, there are more staff there on the weekend. Not a ton, but everything is always staffed. And we might have planned, some small trips that we plan for students to go to CVS. Hey, I ran out of toothpaste. No, you're not going to call home for toothpaste. You can go buy it yourself. Let's all go to CVS and practice those advocacy skills to go use a customer service shopper and get some toothpaste. Or, hey, you've been talking about Starbucks. It's down the street. Let's walk together in a small group and go get Starbucks together. Same thing for the real world of work students. Anybody who is their own guardian in the real world of work program is able to go off campus on their own if they so choose. But anybody living over at LaSalle, they're able to work with the supervising staff over there to plan activities and anything that they'd like to do on the weekends. I will be honest, students are typically really tired. They are up from early in the morning participating in activities from 9 to 8. They are exhausted. They don't want to do anything on the weekends. They are not bored. They are wiped out and they just want to sleep and recuperate and rest. And so we try to have some activities available if they're interested, but also let them recuperate and kind of reset for the following week. Any folks who live nearby, you're always welcome to come and visit or pick up your student, your child. I will say that first week at camp, everybody's very sad and everybody's very homesick. So if you're able to have your child wait one weekend and you show up week number 2 on that Friday afternoon and pick them up, that would be great. I feel like everybody being miserable together allows you to make friends more easily than, oh man, I can't believe Sally got picked up by her mom. Oh man, I wish I got picked up by my mom. Just a word from the wise. We've had a lot of kids get picked up, so it's just something to think about. But since classes end Friday afternoon, you could technically pick up your child on a Friday afternoon and bring them back on a Monday morning if there's something fun going on at home in the family over the weekends. Another program is our Computing for College program. I don't know if anybody on the call is interested in this program. This program is for our high school seniors or freshmen in college. So someone who's about to go into college, maybe they are going to be a rising senior, but they're taking AP level courses and going to a local community college. This is intensive technology program. No O&M, no personal management, no counseling, case management. It's tech only. But if you're going off to college and you need that higher level technology skills so that way you can be successful, this is what you need. Classes are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Thursdays, they're going on a field trip. They don't need to do clubs and activities. They are doing homework. They are not doing, this is very focused on technology. Enhancing their touch typing, note taking, speed and accuracy, looking at the use of digital books and how are they going to advocate at disability services, working with professors, working in groups. It is a phenomenal program that I can't speak highly enough of. The instructors do just such a great job and it's really great. If you have someone who's interested in this program, if you have questions about technology, give me a call. I'll get you in touch with the instructors. Be mindful as someone transitions out of high school into college, that laptop or whatever tech that they currently use very well may be owned by the high school. and will need to be given back to the high school when they leave. So planning for that transfer of tech back to the high school is important to think about before they lose that piece of technology, that equipment. You want to think about what they might be using for college success and learning how to use that new piece of tech before they go to college. So give me a call. Love computing for college. Happy to chat more about it. But these kids are living at LaSalle University. They get to access the LaSalle University dining hall, just like the Real World of Work students. They don't need to be as proficient with making their breakfast and lunch, although I hope that they are. But if they're not, that is okay because they are coming to the Carroll Center campus for all of their classes, and we will provide them with breakfast and lunch.
Are these classes kind of like in order? Like this would be like maybe the third summer that they would do this, or do you do them out of order?
I would say most people start with YIT. The second summer depends on the trajectory of the students. Some, even if they know they're going to college, really benefit from a real world of work experience to work on that commuting, the time management, kind of enhancing their independent living skills. And then the computing for college is obviously great for that student going off to college. We've had some kids who just do computing for college. We've never seen them before, but it's not very often for us to see a real world of work student without having YIT. So I would say YIT, then real world of work. It is common to then have computing for college the following year, so like 3 summers in a row. But I will say I've seen many students who come for computing for college only. I also want to say we've had students who come to YIT and they're not overly successful. Maybe they struggle a lot with homesickness. Maybe they're not mature. They, they struggle with independent living. They need a lot of repetition, and they are often invited to come back and participate in YIT a second summer. We've also had students who do YIT go off to real world of work the next year, and real world of work is really, really hard. And so we invite them to come back and repeat real world of work the following summer. So depending upon the students, these programs can be repeated as well. So it just depends on a student's needs. We have a summer assistant internship. So it's a level up from real world of work. This real world of work program is really a exposure to the beginning of getting that first job, starting your resume, getting to see what accommodations somebody might need to be successful at work. It's really all about starting that job. Whereas our summer internship is more high level work. They're working well over the 15 hours per week, looking more at 4 full days, so 25, 30 hours a week of work. And they're working in higher level positions, biotech, low vision, museum, nonprofit work, social, kind of intro to social work type things. I put June through August for the internship. Some of these are starting mid-June. So again, the sooner you can apply for these, the better. Reach out to me if you're interested in any of these. We want you to be applying now so we can secure your internship placement, work on your soft skills resume, and going on that interview ahead of time. So when you come to us in June, everything is squared away and you can start that internship. So you have to be 18 to 25 to apply. You can be from any state. These students have a laptop that they're using proficiently, have good orientation mobility skills, and be able to travel independently. We're obviously there to provide that novel route planning, right? They've never been to downtown Boston to get to Biogen, but we can give them the orientation for that, but they need to have the ability to then do that on their own. They're not having job coaches. These need to be students who are able to work independently, work with a team, be motivated. We will provide them with room and board. They would live at LaSalle University. Obviously, they are their own guardians, so they have the opportunity to, go into the city, take public paratransit, around the college campus, and, work on all of their different skills. Any questions about the summer assistant internship?
No.
Awesome. So our last program that I wanted to present is called Inspire. This is a newer program. It's for folks who are looking at working in the blindness profession. So young adults who are 19 to 25, who are blind and visually impaired, enrolled in college, full-time, part-time, they're looking to become a COMS, a TBI, a VRT, a CLVT. We want them working with us. We would love to be able to provide them with an internship because all of the fields are in need, and we would love to be able to help grow the profession. Great program. They'd be working with great certified staff, and they would be able to help teach alongside. Think of it as like student teaching. They'd be student teaching with us during the summer months. Excellent program, and we're really excited. And I'm not going to run through all the program objectives, but it's a great one. And so what are some of the next steps for any of these programs? Registration has already opened. Please apply if you're interested in any of these programs, especially if it's a work or internship program. The sooner the better, so we can start interviewing you, not just for our program, but for your eventual internship placement. I conduct all the interviews for the programs, so I don't know, I'm not a scary lady. Come hang out with me over Zoom or over the phone, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And those interviews will begin. I'm gonna say next week. I'll start sending out emails to folks who've already applied. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen.